guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a different kind of video for you that I've not done before, but I feel like I go to my library enough that I want to show you guys some of the books that I am getting each time I go. So today's video for this is going to be a library win. So the first book I have on this is The Glimmering Court by Richelle Mead. Now this is a book, ironically enough, I've checked out 5 times from the library and had to return every single time because every time I go to read it, it is ready to expire and I've already renewed it like 3 times, so I have to return it and it just keeps falling in the back burner. Well, I was looking for a new book to buy the other day, and so I was kind of previewing a bunch of books on Amazon and on Barnes & Noble, and I previewed this and I like flew through the first chapter. So I'm like, okay, I'm finally gonna read this book because part of July is I'm doing a goal where I read like 3 library books before I read one of my books so that all my library books can get read and I can return them, and then I know if I want to buy them or not. So I know this is definitely gonna be one I buy, but I just thought I would read it here first until I can do that. So the premise behind this book is that there is a girl who lives in a court, like royalty over across seas, and she is being forced to marry to help her family, but she doesn't want to do that. So in place of, or she takes the place of one of her like ladies or maids, and she comes across to the United States and she joins the Glimmering Court. And so this story is really about her kind of experience with that, her adventure with that, and I think it sounds fantastic. I love Richelle Mead. I read 90% of the Vampire Academy series and I loved them, so I really like her writing, and like I said, I previewed the first chapter of this and I loved it, so I feel like this is going to be one that I really enjoy. The next book in this haul, or in the library haul, is The Winter's Curse by Marie Rakowski. Now this is a series I've kind of had on my radar for a while and I really want to read it, especially now that book 3 is finally out. However, I must have been under a rock or something, but the covers have changed for this. So I did recently buy this book. I have it coming from Book Outlet in this cover, so I'll probably end up returning this to the library and reading my own. So this book is about a young girl who's a general's daughter, and she lives in a land where there's a lot of unrest, and basically she's given the choice she can either marry or she can become a soldier. But she has other ideas, and so you learn about, or you read about her finding kind of like a kindred spirit in this other boy, or in this boy, and from what I hear, this trilogy is fantastic. And I can't wait to jump into it because I previewed this as well, and it just seems like something that's right up my alley. It reminds me a little bit, just a little bit, of what I read so far between some of the other fantasy series. I feel like I'm getting little pieces of here and there of what I love from those series in this, so I'm really excited for this one. The next 2 books are in a series by Sarah J. Maas, and the first one is A Court of Thorns and Roses. This too is one that I've checked out from the library like 4 or 5 times and I've still not read it. I have previewed this one and I feel like the first chapter is kind of slow for me, and so I always take it back because I'm like, I don't have time for a slow book right now. But I've talked to enough people that say that if you can get through like the first little bit of this one, it picks up more, and then the second book is even better. This is a loose Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I hear that 99% of the people I hear from love this book, or they just didn't care for it. Like there's not like a happy medium in between there. So this is one, and then the second book I got of that is Court of Mist and Fury, which just came out recently this year, and this is supposed to continuation of the first story, but I hear that this has a Persephone kind of retelling in it, and I dig Greek mythology, so I'm totally cool with that. So I'm excited to read this one as well. I hear this one is even better than the first one, so it's kind of like Throne of Glass for me. If I could get through Throne of Glass and then get to Crown of Midnight, I was totally golden. So I feel like this is how that's going to be for this series. The last and final book that I got from the library is one that kind of shocked me because this was not a book I intended to read at all. I am not a big fan of different kind of ways of reading, so like when I hear people talk about this book, they rave about it. And then the second book is coming out this year, so I'm like, well, maybe I should look into it a little bit. And I happened to flip through it at Barnes & Noble, and it actually was a lot easier to read than I anticipated. And if you couldn't tell what it was already, it is Illuminating. This is by Amy Kaufman and Jake Kristoff, and this is supposed to be about these 2 teenagers who are dating, but then they break up that morning, and then later that day, their world is invaded by aliens. And this whole book is in like case files and like all this different kind of stuff, like text messages and IMs, and that's my bookmark, and all sorts of stuff. So this I really didn't think I was going to want to read because it just seemed like it wasn't a type of book that I would want, like an actual like physical, like I didn't like how it was set up kind of thing. But I'm gonna give it a try and see if I like it, because I hear everyone raves about this book. They love it. I've only heard maybe 1 or 2 people say they didn't care for it. But then Gemina is the second one coming out this year, and I want to be ready in case I like it. I'm ready for it. So I got this. We'll see how it goes. Okay guys, that is the end of my library haul for this week. Now I'm hoping that I can have these finished between now and middle of July. I leave in the end of July for a kids camp, so I have about 5 to 6 weeks of a whole bunch of reading I hope to get done. So yeah, let me know if you guys have read any of the books I listed in this video. If so, let me know what you think of them. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Why not? So let me know. I want to talk about it in the comments. And thank you guys so much for watching, and until my next video, I will see you guys later.